What a little fucking shit that guy is. If you're not aware, there's a footballer now called Rhys James, okay? He plays for Chelsea in England. He's absolutely smashing it. He's already won the Champions League, helped England get to the final of the Euros. Some of you are probably here expecting to see him. Apologies, I'm the Rhys James in this venue's budget, I'm afraid. That guy makes 150 grand a week. He's not coming to fucking Aldgate East. No offence. I only make 90 grand a week. I fucking need this, all right? It's a nightmare for me. Footballer with my name, my career's in the fucking toilet. It's over. And he burst onto the scene, the new Rhys James, in the last sort of 2 years, really. But he was already smashing it like 3-4 years ago, and I hadn't heard of him yet. And what would happen is, I would get a tweet out of the blue from a stranger that would say something like, "Oh, I've been watching you, mate. You're absolutely brilliant. You're head and shoulders above the rest. One to look for the future, man. You're going to be a star." And I'd see that and be like, I guess they must be showing Mock the Week again. Well, somebody's got Dave, haven't they? Good for you. Turns out they were not showing Mock the Week, and I should know that, because when they do show Mock the Week, no one tweets me saying, "You're going to be a star." They tweet me saying, "Since when does the girl from Star Wars do stand-up comedy?" Very hurtful for me to go online. Worse is when I'd get the negative tweets out of the blue from a stranger that would say stuff like, "I watched you today, mate. You're fucking shit, okay? You are rubbish. You're not cut out for this game. You should quit, and you should quit immediately." And I'd be like, "Mate, Chelsea weren't even playing today. Moron. Clueless." Some people are so thick, don't you think? Thick goes ever you go these days, no offence. Worst part of all of this, by the way, Rhys James, genuinely, not even my real fucking name, okay? It is a stage name I chose 14 years ago when I started doing comedy, because I was already quite a prolific comedian with my real name. And I thought there's probably not room on the circuit for 2 Ramesh Ranganathans. What choice did I have? It was either this or Cristiano Ronaldo. Those are the final 2. It's just fucked, man, isn't it? Because his ceiling for success is so much higher than mine. He's a footballer, for a start, and he's 23 years old. 23. I'm 32. I know, it's called Nivea. Relax, everyone. 23, man. Whole life ahead of him. He'll probably win the World Cup before he's 30. I'm just trying to get on Taskmaster before I go bald. That's all this is. And the thing is, you express this kind of concern with your life and your identity, and people come out the woodwork. The mental health people turn up with their phrases that help no one, and they say things like, "Oh, don't worry about the competition, okay? Don't worry about the other Rhys James. There's actually no such thing as competition. You're only in competition with yourself. All you've got to do, Rhys, is be better than you were a year ago." I'm like, I don't think you understand how aging works. I don't have the energy that I had a year ago. I used to do MDMA. Last week, I watched a YouTube video called "How to Wash a Fleece and Preserve Its Softness." People change. The good thing about this crowd is that half of you are sat there going, "How?" East London, baby. I know the vibe. Wash it at 30 and blow dry. You're welcome. Just saved you 7 minutes in a Grammarly advert. All right, good to see you're on the same algorithm tonight. Good to know. These phrases are useless, aren't they? These mental health phrases. Especially that one, you know? Saying that there's no such thing as competition. We all know that's not true. There is such a thing as competition. That's not mental health. That's just denial. Mental health would be to acknowledge the existence of competition and just figure out a healthy way to deal with it in your own brain, right? In 2009, on Britain's Got Talent, a street dance troupe named Flawless auditioned. And in the pre-audition chat, Simon Cowell said to the main one in Flawless, "What's the ambition, lads?" And he stepped forward into the spotlight and he went, "Chase the dream, not the competition." Everyone in the crowd went crazy. They were whooping, they were cheering, they were clapping. It was like this. Classic comedy crowd. Couldn't give a shit about your earnestness. More jokes, little boy, please. We're waiting. It's been, 15 seconds. Come along. You're a comedy crowd. You'd never clap something so earnest, and I respect that about you, okay? But that's what he said, okay? He said, chase the dream, not the competition. Fast forward 6 weeks, and Flawless are in the final of Britain's Got Talent. This close to achieving that dream they've been chasing. On the night, they finished 8th out of 9, losing to rival street dance troupe Diversity. So maybe have a little look at the fucking competition, lads, hey? What are you doing chasing the dream? Like, mugs! Don't you know other people are chasing the same dream as you? Christ! Go back to Diversity audition, right? Simon Cowell says to Ashley Banjo, the main one in Diversity, "What's the ambition, mate?" He goes, "To crush Flawless into the fucking dust. I will do whatever it takes. I'll sacrifice a little Afro flippy one if I have to. Whatever I must do, I will do with bloodshed tonight." You remember? And it worked, didn't it? They're smashing it, aren't they, Diversity? They're still going. Everyone knows Diversity. They sold out 5 nights at the Palladium this year, this April. Flawless haven't had a Wikipedia update since 2015. And that was me saying, if you're reading this, best of luck to you fellas. Chase the dream, not the competition. Fucking turn it in. Drivel. In 14 years' time, right, 14 years from now, someone will say to you, whatever happened to that Rhys James? You'll be like, Rhys James, well, he's a national treasure, isn't he? Get fucked. We love Rhys James. There's statues of Rhys James. Of course there are. We love the guy. He won the World Cup. We love that guy. We're like, no, not that Rhys James. The other one, the little dweeby comedian Rhys James. Whatever happened to that guy? You'll be like, the comedian Rhys James. Yeah, he had a breakdown and went on Britain's Got Talent to do street dance. Really lost his head. He kept shouting, this is because of diversity. Everyone thought he was being racist. It was very uncomfortable. No one knew how to react. I don't know, man. They're not useful, are they? These phrases, these mental health phrases, you know? It's just not helpful at all. You know, I think it's a little bit simpler than we give it credit for, life, you know, and mental health, if I'm honest. I think we want to overcome. It's a good feeling to think we overcame something. But really, I think it's a few little secrets that make life a bit easier. To me, the secret is just set yourself realistic goals. That's all you need, just realistic goals. Don't know about anyone here, I'm still going strong on my New Year's resolution. Yeah, because it was realistic. But it was a big one, as I say, turned 32 this year. Had to be a grown-up resolution, prove that I'm taking my adulthood seriously. Resolution for me this year, no more chicken nuggets. That's right. I've gone nugless. For Greta, obviously. Do your bit, you know? Trying to go nug zero by 2025. That's the aim. No more nuggets. I'm smashing it. It's been, 8, 9 months? I haven't had a single nugget. I'm doing so well. Slight confession, I'm eating a lot of goujons. Like twice as many. Way more real chicken than a goujon too. So much worse for the planet. But I did sail here, so anyway. Sorry, dribble, waste of time. I've got to say though, right, I reckon there's a fatal flaw with the New Year's resolution system, right? And that is that we give New Year's resolutions to ourselves. That's where we're going wrong, I think. Because we're not really self-aware enough as people to know what our flaws actually are we? That's why resolutions are always just like vague, rehashed self-improvement ideas we've heard other people do in previous years that don't even apply to our own lives. What we should do instead, as a society, is we should give New Year's resolutions to each other. Every single year at the party, we should be like, listen, mate, this is why you're a piece of shit. This is why you've got to change. And have people say it back to us. This country would improve immeasurably within like 3 years if we did this, but we don't. So every year I've got to listen to my idiot mates tell me their dumb resolutions that don't even apply to them. Just being like, oh yeah, I think this year I'm going to try and read more. I think that's my one, yeah. I think I'm going to try and do more books. I think I'm going to try and do like 12 books by the end. Fuck the books, Carl. You need to reconcile with your father. Get your shit together, man. Priorities, Christ. Yeah, I think I'm going to give up coffee. I've been saying it for years. I think this is the year I do it. Finally, I'm going to give up coffee. No, Claire, you need to give up thinking you run an eyelashes business on Facebook. You're in a fucking pyramid scheme, Claire, okay? If anything, drink more coffee. It's time you woke the fuck up. What's wrong with you? This is what we should do. We'd be so self-aware as a nation if we did this. But we don't want to do it, do we? Because we're British. It's very uncomfortable. We don't like to tell people their flaws to their faces in this country. What we like to do is discuss people's flaws in WhatsApp groups those people aren't in. Or some of us are old school still, we'll leave a passive-aggressive anonymous note line around. Now, word to the wise, from experience, if like me, you live with just your partner, those notes aren't as anonymous as you thought they were. I was putting them on postcards by the door as a ruse. She'd be like, what's this? I'd be like, I guess they must have heard you're snoring in Mauritius. Maybe do something about it. I don't recommend this method, waste of a stamp. Instead, what I suggest is we give each other New Year's resolutions, right? But we do it at midnight every single year. After the countdown. New Year's Eve, replace the kiss, get rid of the kiss. No one ever wants to do the kiss anyway, do they? Do they? So we get rid of the kiss, and then every year is just like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get therapy. For old lang syne. You, my friend, down here, what's your name, my friend? Alex. Did you have a New Year's resolution this year?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Do you want one?
Yeah.
You work in the city?
Yeah.
Of London? Yeah. Don't we all, in a way? Okay, no, the answer's no, actually. But what do you do? Don't care. Okay, the point is, I don't have time, I can't be asked, wearing a white shirt, I get it. I get it. Whatever, you do Tough Mudders, yeah, fine. The point is, we don't... I know you don't want to admit it, but we know you do. Okay, Alex, I just believe in this idea that we should give each other New Year's resolutions, right? And I reckon I've figured out a system where I can just ask a couple of questions and then give you the perfect one, okay? Right, are you up for it? That's not one of the questions. Okay, good. Question 1, Alex, is what is your mother's maiden name? I'm joking. It is, what is the long number? No, I'm joking. It is, question 1 is, Alex, who is one person in your life that you wish you spent more time with? And before you answer, keep it light. Trying to have a laugh.
Alice.
Alice. Oh, that's why you were so shocked. Your name's almost the same. Alice. How do you know Alice?
My fiancée.
Your fiancée?
Yeah.
Okay, just little warning, okay? This can't make the edit. There's about 10 minutes of the show later on, you two are going to fucking hate. You'll know when we're there. Anyway, sorry, Alice, and yes, that's your fiancée, and you want to spend more time with Alice, and you're nailing it. You've outsourced the conversation a bit, but you're smashing it. Be honest with me, do you feel like you already spend enough time together? You feel like you're pretty good, yeah. Need some space, please, Alex. Yes, you should train for a marathon. Yes, you should. Okay, so what we've established is that your relationship's over, but also that, Alex, you want to spend more time with Alice. And question 2 is, what is one place that you want to visit before you die?
Mauritius.
How did you think of Mauritius? This really is some Darren Brown shit going on right now. Wow, just top of your head, was it? I want to go to Mauritius. The most recent location I've heard. Okay, so you want to... Do you want to go to Mauritius?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah. Anywhere else you want to go before you die?
Barcelona.
Barcelona. There we go. Okay, love that. That's also just like just classic sort of disposable income level that your shirt implies. I want to go to Barcelona. The bloke in Coventry was like, nah, Reading. But you got ambition. I like your style, Alex. You want to go to Barcelona. Okay, so what we've learned, Alex, is that you want to spend more time with your fiancée, Alice, and you want to go to Barcelona. Therefore, Alex, obviously, your resolution should be stop sitting in the front row. Lesson learned. Now, I do need something in return from you. This is my book of resolutions, okay? I take it to my shows. That's now yours for the rest of the show. You don't have to do it straight away. The idea, Alex, is you'll listen to the whole show, listen to basically all the problems that I bang on about, and you'll figure out the perfect solution for my life, to fix all the problems in my life, and you'll write me a resolution that we'll look at the end of the show. If at any point during the show you forget this task, it is written on the very next page, but I trust you, Alex, okay? You're a city boy, and I know that you're going to give me the perfect solution to all my issues. I know you are. And bear in mind, right, I've already tried this, okay? I believe in this idea of giving each other resolutions, and I tried it with my mates. But my mates are all fucking idiots, okay? Because my friends are all young men in their early 30s. How old are you? Alex, how old are you?
30.
Fuck. My friends are all young men in their late 30s who have all become absolutely obsessed all of a sudden with getting the CEO lifestyle, okay? All of them, they suddenly want that high earner, high achiever lifestyle. They've all listened to one shit podcast from that dickhead on Dragon's Den, and they've all gone absolutely insane. And now they say things to me like, oh, what you got to do, mate? You know what you got to do, Rhys? You got to start your day, every day, with an ice-cold shower. That's what you got to do, man. Ice-cold shower in the morning, every morning before work. It's going to change your life. I'm like, I don't dispute that. They're like, for the better. Like, that's where me and you part ways, okay? But this is a real thing, okay? It all comes from a man called Wim Hof. You may have heard of this guy. That's a man's name, genuinely. Wim and then Hof. I'm not fucking around here. And if you're not aware, right, Wim Hof, he's this old, looking around at some of you, he's this young guy, and he's in his prime, I'd say. He's a sprightly young 62. And that's when life begins, if you ask me. Thanks for coming. He's a young guy, and he's got this big white beard, as so many young guys do. And he is Dutch or Danish, same thing, doesn't matter. No, xenophobia is fine, racism's the bad one, trust me. Basically, he's an old white guy, and he's from one of the waffle countries. Brexit means Brexit, I'll say what I fucking like, all right? You voted for this, not me. I abstained. Anyway, he says... Some of these are jokes, chill out. That wasn't one, but there'll be some in a bit. The point is, Wim Hof, right, he says that it's all about cold therapy, right? It's called the Wim Hof Method. It's all cold therapy. And apparently this sorts you out mentally and physically, right? My friends all interpret this Wim Hof Method as just having a cold shower in the morning, every morning before work. And they keep saying, you got to do it, Rhys. You got to do the Wim Hof Method because it's got scientifically proven benefits. That's what they say, scientifically proven benefits. Now listen, I like science and I like proven benefits. Lord knows, I love an Actimel. But, oh, it's a Yakult crowd, is it? Good to know. It's always 50-50. But listen, if I'm going to follow the science from someone, okay, I need a sciencey look. If I'm going to follow the science from someone, it's not going to be from a man called Wim, who lives in the fucking woods, okay? I need to see some pictures of you holding some beakers or something. Pop a fucking lab coat on for a press shot, mate. All I ever see from this Wim Hof character is a picture of him doing the split on an ice cap, wearing nothing but swimming shorts and a bandana. I buy drugs off that guy. Sure, I'm not following the science from him. I'll take hallucinogens, not medicines, please, Wim. He's an identical twin, Wim Hof, at 62. Ugh, gross. Look, I know that must exist, logically. I just thought that sort of shit ended at 9. You know, get a grip. At least take off the matching dungarees, for fuck's sake. Have some self-respect. Hop out the bunk beds, lads. Christ. Scientifically proven benefits, man. That's what they say. Scientific. I've started asking what they are. There's 3 main ones, basically, of this Wim Hof method. The first one, my friends say, you got to do it, man. You got to have an ice-cold shower in the morning, every morning, because it's invigorating. An ice-cold shower really wakes you up in the morning. Oh, yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. It's literally pouring a bucket of ice-cold water over yourself. That's how they wake up hostages. That is a cuckoo clock in Guantanamo Bay. I am a free man. I can wake up how I please. I'm sure I'd be more alert in the morning if I swapped my porridge for a bowl of broken glass. I'm not fucking doing it, even though it would be easier to wash up. Listen, you don't need an ice-cold shower in the morning to be more invigorated to be productive, do you? We all know the actual life hack for productivity, don't we? It's obvious. The secret to getting anything done is to just have something slightly more important you should have been doing. That's all it is. That's why your house is always tidy, is when you've got a big work deadline or something. You just need something slightly... Like the other day, I wrote loads of amazing jokes about allergic reactions, right? I should have been doing that. I should have been calling an ambulance. Something slightly more important is all you need. The second benefit, they say, scientifically proven, of course, the Wim Hof method. They go, you got to do it, man. You got to have that ice-cold shower in the morning, every morning, because it's great for the skin, a cold shower. So good for the skin. I'm so sick of people telling me stuff's great for the skin. We are obsessed with our skin being the one that's healthy, because that's the one on display, while our livers and lungs look like shit. These people are friends of mine. They all drink. Half of them still smoke. They're having a cold shower every morning to slightly improve their skin. That's like having a completely blocked toilet, full to the brim with feces, and going, you know what that needs? A lick of paint. Ridiculous logic. Your house is on fire. Call the fire brigade, not the Queer Eye crew, for fuck's sake. This is no time to redecorate. The final benefit, it's my favourite one. It's my favourite benefit. They always say it. They go, above all else, Rhys, you've got to do it. You've got to have an ice-cold shower in the morning, every morning, because it really reduces stress, a cold shower. Really reduces stress. Oh, does it? Does it really? Well, you know what I find stressful? Breathless goosebumps and a fully retracted penis, okay? Neither scream wellness retreat to me, actually. And then they go, well, billionaires do it. How can you argue that, Rhys, when billionaires do it? Don't you want to be like a billionaire? Because billionaires do the Wim. I'm like, yeah, of course billionaires do it. Billionaires have done everything. Billionaires have got unlimited resources. They've had every experience possible in the human experience catalogue. So they're bored out of their fucking minds, Nothing feels like anything to a billionaire anymore. Heroin to a billionaire is like a Tang Fastic to us. It has no impact. They just go, oh, bit tart, and that's the only reaction. By the way, I'm so sick of people telling me the humble beginnings, rags to riches origin story of a billionaire who started their business out of a garage. Every single time it's like, did you know Jeff Bezos started Amazon out of his garage? Isn't that amazing? Steve Jobs started Apple out of a garage. Incredible. Right. How do I get a fucking garage? Sorry, I live in London. Are you insane? A garage is the end goal. And this is one without a car in it. So this is a spare garage. Are you fucking kidding me? It's not rags to riches if I find the rags aspirational. Tell me the story of a billionaire who started his business out of a kitchen that was also a bathroom. Then I'll relate to you. Listen, I'm not having a go at Wim Hof, okay? I know it sounds like I am from all the words I keep saying, but I'm not. I'm not. Wim Hof does have a method. He does. The Wim Hof Method, famously. That's his one. Point is, he's actually doing it, Wim Hof, in real life, all right? This guy, he's all about endurance, Wim Hof. He's got the world record for the longest ever ice bath. He runs marathons barefoot in the snow. You having a cold shower in the morning so you're slightly bare at emails is not the same thing. You've not been through the same stuff. It's like saying you know how Nelson Mandela must have felt because you're also a Gemini. It's not the same. He'd have really struggled in captivity because we're extroverts. We like to mingle. We love a chat. But we love long walks. That walk to freedom would have been right up his street. Oh my God. Listen, I know I seem angry, by the way. I'm working on it, you know. We've got to work on ourselves these days, haven't we? That's my vice. You know, I've got a short temper, get very cross, get very angry about shit that doesn't matter. I know where I get it from. I get it from my biological father. Very angry guy, my biological father. Main thing he gets angry about is that he raised me my whole life and he's my normal dad, but I still call him that for a laugh. He gets very upset. It's funny. What do you want to say? It's really funny. I recommend it. Next time you introduce your parents, be like, this is my mum, this is my biological father. He'll be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Be like, I didn't lie, did I? I didn't say anything not true. You got nothing on me. Unlucky. Unlucky. But seriously, thanks for coming to the show. Genuinely, thanks for coming to the show, you know, because as I say, tough times, man. Tough old times. But you're here, appreciate it, you know. Tough old times. Not for me, obviously. I'm part of the 1%. You know, for everyone behind Alex. Tough old... Not me, man. Times ain't tough for me anymore. I've made it! I've made it, that's right. I'll tell you how I knew I'd made it. I knew I'd made it the day that I bought plasters and I wasn't currently bleeding. So, you know, when you're spending that future investment kind of money, you know? There's a word for it, it's wealth. That's what that's called, look it up. Anyway, then Mock the Week got cancelled and I lost my job. So, guess what I'm trying to say is, would anyone like to buy some plasters? All right, suit yourselves. Every now and then in your life, I feel like something will happen to you that really sort of tells you where you've got to socioeconomically. You know, it happened for me recently. What happened is, right, I got burgled, right, and I was in the house at the time because my life is a movie, specifically Home Alone. And I was actually in the shower when it happened as well, right, and it was a hot shower as well, so I was stressed as fuck. I was losing my mind and my skin was a mess. It was disgusting. I was barely even lucid. I was half asleep in that thing. Then I got out of the shower and I went downstairs and I noticed that my back door was wide open, which audiences keep insisting I tell them is not a euphemism. That shit feels beneath me, but it's what you people want, apparently. So I go downstairs and my back door was wide open and my asshole agape. I mean, that's how hot the shower was. Really loosened me up, you see. I had to have a cold one just to... It's called the Rhys James Method. Anyway, listen. Went downstairs, back door was wide open, and all the things that were on my kitchen table next to the back door were now missing. We're talking laptop, we're talking headphones, we're talking a half-full bottle of Lucozade. How much energy did he need for his escape? What is happening here? And it was the old school kind of Lucozade as well, the original, the fizzy kind, you know, the working man's Barocca. I was fucking furious. And I thought, wait, I don't know that he has escaped. This guy could still be in the house. I was in Home Alone mode. I was like, I need to pick up a weapon to defend myself here, like Kevin McAllister. But I couldn't pick up the Home Alone weapons of, you know, marbles and paint cans because I don't have a garage. So, I had to improvise, right? And this is where I realised where I'd got to socioeconomically, right? Listen, I'm not saying that I deserved to be burgled. But the thing I picked up as a weapon was a bottle of champagne. I think I'm part of the problem, actually. I was holding it by the neck of the bottle, by the way, just so you know. Plan was to, you know, bash him with it, smash it over him like I was christening a ship. Seems like a needless deed. I just don't want anyone here thinking that I was going to try and spray him with it like he'd won the Grand Prix. I thought it through. He had gone in the end, he had escaped. And I was glad in hindsight because the image I was giving off wasn't nearly as threatening as I thought it was, you know? I thought he'd be looking at like a man with a weapon defending his house. In reality, he's just seeing like a boy in a towel with a bottle of champagne. At no point is he thinking, this guy's going to kill me. He's thinking, are we on a dirty weekend together? What's happened? This guy's going to fuck me. But I never got the chance. The one that got away. So tough times, as I say, tough old times, you know. Tough times, especially for me now, you know, no laptop anymore, no Lucozade. And obviously, it turned 32 this year, as I say, 32. You know what that means? It means the rail card has finally expired. Full price rail travel in this economy, you've got to be crazy. I can see that you don't relate to this. All right. 28 years. I've got to wait until the next rail card. The over 60s rail card, the rail card that never expires. But you do. It's a good slogan, it's not a perfect slogan. Listen, You got to understand, I'm a sucker for cheap travel. I do this job, I travel around all the time, always trying to get it cheaper, always trying to do little hacks and tricks to work out a way to get it cheaper all the time, right? And this happened recently, it's an embarrassing story, but I've got to tell it to take ownership of it. Basically what happened is, right, I was getting on a long-haul flight, right, and so I wore a big happy birthday badge to the airport because I assumed they would see that at the check-in desk and then give me a free upgrade. What I forgot was I would then have to show them my passport with my date of birth in it. Absolutely humiliating. She was like, what's that all about? I was like, this is just trendy. Something young people do. She was like, well, you're not one of them, so I don't know why you're doing it. But I like it. I like being in my 30s a lot more, man. It's much better to be in your 30s than your 20s. Way better being in your 30s, because I know myself now, you know? At least I know what to expect of myself socially. In my 20s, I was bluffing. Every group I got in, I would just act like that group to make the evening go smoother. Now I just am myself, and if it ruins the night, who gives a shit? As you can tell from the way I've spoken to you this evening. Whatever, man. No refunds. That's the way it works. Right, recently, right, I was on a stag do, and we were stagging it, okay? We were stagging it like that, let me tell you. It was staggy out there, that stag do. And it was 9:30 p.m. And you heard me, PM. And we were on a rooftop bar in central London, and then I got hiccups, and so I went home, because I'm 32. I don't have to have hiccups in public anymore. It's the benefit. Much better, man. Much better being in your 30s. Because I know myself in my 30s. You think you know yourself in your 20s. You don't. You don't know who you are, okay? I thought I knew myself too. Didn't have a fucking clue who I was. Especially early 20s, 20-year-olds. You don't know who you are, 20-year-olds. I see you on Love Island, 20-year-olds. You don't know who you are. Every man in his intro video on Love Island says the same thing. He goes, how would my mates describe me? Probably say that I'm a little bit cheeky, a little bit flirty. Yeah, I reckon they'd say that. I reckon they fucking wouldn't, mate. Have you ever heard an adult man describe another adult man as cheeky or flirty? Forget flirty, that's out there as a possibility. Not once have I described a male friend of mine as cheeky because none of my male friends are a cartoon monkey who has just robbed a fruit market in a fucking Disney film. If you ask any adult man to describe his best male friend, he'll go, he's about my height and he's a bell end. And that is it. Is all the insight you get. The women as well, by the way, on Love Island, you're the same. You don't know yourselves, 20-year-old women. Always, they say the same thing. They go, I really want to get to know you. Actually, I'd really like to go and get to know you. Then they go off to have a conversation with one of the boys on Love Island to get to know them. And it is the sort of conversation you will only otherwise hear in a GCSE French oral exam. My name is Jessica, and I live in Basildon. Ah, yes. Yes. Very good. I have one brother. And I play football with my brother. Tomorrow, I will go to the swimming pool. How many brothers? I would like a croissant, please. Just once on Love Island, I want to hear someone go, I really want to get to know you. And they go, okay, I'm the sort of person who will happily do a good and selfless deed, but I will then brag about doing that deed to everyone I see for the next 6 months. Oh, I'm the sort of person who doesn't want kids, but I am jealous of how much my parents must have learned from having me. Do you still want to couple up? Obviously fucking not. That is what Love Island should be, okay? And that is what it would be if it had people in their 30s on it. But it never will have people in their 30s on it because no one in their 30s can get 8 weeks off. Never going to happen. But it's better to be in your 30s, man. It's much better. You know why? Because no one gives a shit about you anymore. Everyone thinks this is a negative. It's a positive. This is freedom. No one's fucking looking anymore. Your achievements don't matter. No one cares once you're in your 30s. In your 20s, your age is mentioned next to everything you achieve, and that's constant pressure. That's a ticking clock when you hear about anyone else. In your 30s, no one gives a shit. In your 20s, it's always like, have you heard? He was made CEO at just 26. Amazing. She wrote a best-selling novel at 21. Incredible. No one's ever like, have you heard? He was made regional manager at just 37. Sensational. Blow out the balloons. We must celebrate. Fetch the champagne. There's an intruder. No one gives a shit in your 30s. Anything you achieve, people are just like, oh, you went to work, did you? Well done, dickhead. No one cares. I will never be called young for anything I do ever again, unless the thing I do is die. That's my only way now. My only route to you. I have to die or get gout. Those are the only two options. People will say, have you heard? Rhys died of gout. And he was just 32, so young. Taken too soon. That's what they'll say. That's what we say, isn't it? That's what we say about some people. Think about that for a second, see how it makes you feel. Taken too soon. We don't say that about everyone. It shouldn't matter how old someone is. If you love them, they were taken too soon. Otherwise, what you're saying is, no, I was ready. I was ready for Grandma to die. Her house is too hot and she got weird opinions. I was ready. Shouldn't matter how old someone is. If you love them, they were taken too soon. For me, it was taken too soon when it was my grandma, and it was taken too soon when it was my biological granddad. That's how it works. That's how it works. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing that your achievements don't matter anymore, okay? It's an amazing thing that your achievements... Because it's a dead end trying to achieve stuff by a certain age anyway, all right? It is completely dead end. We get these deadlines in our lives, these milestones that tell us we've got to do stuff by a certain time, right? And so we get obsessed with achieving stuff as quickly as possible. It's a dead end. I learnt this in the 2020 Olympics, okay? When I failed to qualify. No, I was watching the 2020 Olympics and there was a British athlete called Sky Brown. Some of you may remember, okay? She competed in the women's outdoor park skateboarding event and she was absolutely incredible, Sky Brown, because she got a bronze medal for Team GB and she was just 13 years old. And then the girl who got silver was 12! So what's the fucking point in anything forever? Why did you even go, Sky Brown, and waste my time? Before the Olympics, before the Games, they interviewed Sky Brown, and they said, what are your ambitions for the Olympics? And she said, just to be here is a dream come true. Right? They also interviewed the girl who got silver. They said, what are your ambitions for the Games? She said, to crush Sky Brown into the fucking dust. I will do whatever it takes. I'll sacrifice a little Afro flippy one from Diversity if I have to. Whatever I must do. I think that's what she said. It was in Japanese. It's always hard to tell. Same tone. It's a dead end. It's a dead end trying to achieve stuff by a certain age. Dead end. Because it all comes back round anyway. Even if you think you achieve something young, it comes back round. That's how karma works. Right, I'll tell you this, right? When I was 17, I had a weekend job in KFC. Loved working in KFC. Best job I ever had. Thanks for coming. Absolutely loved working there. It was brilliant working in KFC. I tried to do it Saturday and Sunday if I could. I looked forward to it all week in sixth form. And then one day, the girl I fancied came in to the KFC with a group of her mates, and they all laughed at me for working there. Right? Fast forward 6 years, I go back into that same KFC. Guess who was working there? Still me. I forget my point. I don't know where I was going with that, but maybe there's something you can take from it. Who knows? Who knows? We can't compete, man. We can't compete. Even if we're trying to achieve stuff young, we can't compete with the previous generations. People from centuries ago, they did everything young. They fucking died at 40. They had to. They got everything done young. All that. I found out recently, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, age 32. The age I am now. I haven't invented any light bulbs. It's not really a fair fight, I suppose. He was around in a time before they existed. What am I supposed to do? I mean, I obviously would have invented the light bulb. Sorry, you think I get to 30 without walking into a few rooms going, oh, this is a bit dark? I'd have fucking invented it, all right? That's when you want to be around, by the way. That's the dream gig, being an inventor back in the olden days. Oh, easiest gig in the world. Easiest way to get rich and famous. Nothing had been invented yet. Everything was to play for. Inventors now are so pathetic. Just going, oh, please, dragons, 50% and I'll suck your dick. It's pathetic. Inventors back in the day, it was just the most basic problem-solving imaginable. They would just eavesdrop all day. It would just be like, oh, I can't get my bottle open. Bottle opener, done. Oh, my pasta's a bit wet. Colander, I'm a millionaire now. Oh, I love pizza, but I'm a Tory. Quiche. You know, it was easy, it was simple. Yeah, that one didn't smash it in Oxford. I'll admit that. Hold my hands up. Hold my hands up there. We can't compete, man. We can't compete with previous generations. Mozart writing symphonies at 11. Edward VI was king at 9. 9. I hadn't even done my cycling proficiency. I still haven't. Actually, good one for you, Alex, if you've not got a resolution yet. I must get that sorted. I've been out there illegally. God damn it. I know it's not an achievement to be king, by the way. Well aware of that. It's just luck of the draw, innit? Just family you're born into, and then it's just deciding if you want to carry on with that family or sack it off to write a book and start a podcast. I know how it works. All right, but Edward VI, he didn't want to meet Oprah. He wasn't interested. So he ploughed on. He became a little 9-year-old diddy boy king. Certainly never said Diddy Boy King before, but we're definitely keeping it. I know, I'm aware, it's not an achievement. Being king's no achievement, I understand that, okay? It's not an achievement. But I looked him up to see if he achieved anything while he was king, to see if I could still use him to illustrate my point here, right? And the main thing that I found out about when Edward VI was in charge is that at the time, right, it was all kicking off in the east of England, in like Norfolk, and everyone thought there was going to be a revolt, which would lead to a civil war, right? Apparently at the time, the public outcry was like, oh no, this is a terrible time for a civil war, because Edward's in charge, and he's way too liberal. He's not liberal, he's 9. He's not acting on it because he's got a political agenda. He's not acting on it because it's Wednesday. He's got beavers. He's busy, this kid. Where's he got time to govern in between spinning around really fast and blowing bubbles in his mead? He's got shit to do. You're going, yes, I know they're invading, but I just put my shoes on my hands. Will you give me a second? How mad is that, by the way? Right, that was hundreds of years ago, probably. Can't be asked, but it was fucking ages ago, I guess. And still, that was just an older people saying a young person is too liberal. We have made no progress in this country whatsoever. That is all society is. Just young people saying old people are too right-wing, old people saying young people are too left-wing. Why can't we all admit we're a little bit both? We float into the sides every now and then, okay? Not constantly. I'm saying even the hardest right-wing person has a couple of left-wing opinions in there. The hardest left, a couple of right-wing opinions in there. Listen, I consider myself pretty left-wing, okay? But still, every now and then, a little right-wing opinion pops in. Right, like personally, I think we should bring back fox hunting. Good night. Let me elaborate. Listen, I don't want any foxes to get killed. I don't even want them to get hunted. I just think the foxes have got a little bit fucking arrogant, haven't they? Because they know they're protected. We can't do anything to those pricks. So they're smug with their swagger. They go around now and they're shitting in our gardens and they're going through our bins and they're shagging outside our windows, making each other orgasm at volumes I could never compete with. It's ridiculous. Having a lie next to my girlfriend and she sighs deeply and goes, oh, another hot night in the Vulpine community, is it, Rhys? And I'm sick of it, so I want to bring back fox hunting as a nuclear deterrent, okay? I don't want to kill them, I just want to blow my bugle and have them scamper. That's the aim. This is a big issue in my life. They're fucking up my garden so much, these foxes. I looked it up on the internet to see what you could do to get rid of foxes from your garden, right? Apparently, the main thing you're supposed to use to deter foxes, you're supposed to use male human urine. Yeah, and I read that and my first thought was, oh, I'll have to get a man round. That's how in my head they are. I forgot I was a boy. I was this close to texting my dad. It's bad enough being the sort of bloke who's shit at DIY and needs help putting up a shelf. I don't think our relationship recovers from me asking him to come round and mark my territory. Did it myself in the end. Yeah, pissing in my own garden. That's right. Problem I've got, my garden is very overlooked. So I wasn't going direct, I was pissing into a bottle and then pouring that into the garden. Which, yeah, pretty bleak image. The only positive here for me is that the bottle I used was a Lucozade bottle. You can't burgle the boy without drinking some piss, let me tell you. Laws of the land. How are you getting on with it?
I think we're there.
You think we're there? Okay, well keep listening to the show, because, as I say, the bit you won't like hasn't come up yet. Good, as long as it's not any basic stuff. I don't want any like standard, like dry January stuff, join a gym, none of that. Okay, good, we're fine. Just, I've had it before. Previous shows, they've said join a gym and stuff. And listen, I already am a member of a gym, actually, thank you very much, because I am in my 30s, and that means now I constantly have to listen to friends of mine telling me, you've got to join a gym now for your mental health. That's what happens when you hit 30. Everyone says, gym, best place to go for your mental health. That's so counterproductive to me. Oh yeah, I feel a bit down about myself today. I know what will cheer me up. I'll go to the place where everyone's sexy and I'm bad at everything. Oh yeah, cheers, mate. Not great for the self-esteem, having to ask a bigger boy to get the lid off my protein powder for me, let me tell you. It didn't feel good. But it works, doesn't it? Anyone over 30 will tell you, exercise for the brain, foolproof. Works every single time. It's so insane, so counterintuitive. I've got to work out my body so my brain feels better. It is never the other way around. Never do I start my day going, wow, I got the Wordle in 2 this morning and look what it's done for my glutes. I feel amazing. So I'm in the gym now constantly. Every day I'm in the gym for my mental health, as I say. Problem I've got, the gym I go to is for students. I am allowed to be there. Don't look at me like that. I didn't turn up with a backpack and go, can I play? I'm allowed in. Okay, it's open to the public as well. It's just the only member of the public who goes is me. And there's one 65-year-old man who's always wearing jeans. Yeah, he only does leg machines. I think he's trying to break in a pair of Levi's, so I don't understand him. But my God, do I respect him. Old jeans, good guy. Good guy. Everyone else in that gym, though, students. It's all students. It's all hench freshers, you know? It's all buff 19-year-olds with their pecs and their potential. And I realised recently that we're in the gym for different reasons, me and these young people, you know? They're in the gym because they want to be. I'm in the gym because I have to be, or I will get sad. They're in there to work out. I'm in there to work through some stuff. But they don't understand it. I see it in their faces. They still got hope in their eyes. They look at me, they're like, this guy's here every day. He never gets any more buff, never any more athletic. And I'm like, yeah, but I've got a garden and a Ring doorbell, so why don't you fuck off, mate, all right? It's called the grown-ups table. You're not invited. And can you get the lid off that? And I will explain, but I need a cup of your piss. I will explain. This is why I want to open up a new gym just for people in their 30s. That's right, the mental health gym, just for 30s people, not even 40s, that's a different reason, that's survival. The 30s gym, man, the mental health gym, be completely different to the current gym experience, okay? First thing to change is the playlist. No more of this thumping house music you get in commercial gyms. No, in the 30s gym, we play podcasts through the speakers. We play true crime podcasts about people who've been snatched. What's going to inspire you more when you're knackered on the treadmill? Some David Guetta song you don't even like, or the story of someone who might still be around if they could run a bit quicker? Let's get logical, we're a business. There's no topless men in the 30s gym, no way, because we don't really care about our bodies. I think I do. Every time I start a new workout plan, I take a topless picture in the bathroom mirror to act as a before photo. There is never an after photo, and the before photo just becomes a reference picture for whether or not a mole is new. Pretty bleak scroll back that one is. So there's no one admiring themselves in the mirror in the 30s gym. God, no. There's people staring in the mirror, sure, but they're not admiring themselves. They're staring through themselves. You're lost in a shame flashback. Just going, oh, God, do you remember that time when you were 15 and you really wanted to wear your mum's blazer to that house party because it fit you so perfectly? And she said, oh, I'm not sure this is such a good idea, Rhys, but you did it anyway. And when you got there, Craig Mortimer noticed the buttons are on the other side, and he told everyone, and for the next 6 months, everyone called you Ally McBeal. It's not about me, it's different Rhys. There's no groups of friends in the 30s gym. Come on, these people are in their 30s. It would take months to organise a get-together. Need a whole WhatsApp group. Even then, half of them pull out on the day because of childcare issues. No way. Your time in the 30s gym is completely your own. No one's going to bother you. Even to ask for a spot if they're lifting a heavy weight. Even if you offered them a spot, they would say, I don't care if I die. We'll be the only gym where the benches have commemorative plaques on them. And they will say, he died when he was too awkward to ask anyone for help. Crushed by the weight of his own anxiety. Friends described him as cheeky and flirty. Taken too soon. I think it would work. I think it would do well, the 30s gym, you know? Because we like to be told where we belong, don't we, you know? It's human nature. The problem is, not every mental health problem can be solved by the gym currently, can it? It's a spectrum, mental health. It's not all just anxiety and depression anymore. ADHD's making a comeback. Have you heard? It's back! ADHD, it was huge when I was a kid with my friends who wanted a free laptop. It's back! It's back in adult size. They're calling it adult ADHD. This is crazy to me. I associate ADHD with like naughty 7-year-olds. But friends of mine, they're self-diagnosing it and saying they've got ADHD. Friends of mine with jobs that matter. You can't have authority at work and say you've got ADHD. You might as well say, oh, I can't come to the board meeting, I've got nits. What are you talking about? But you can't have this opinion or you're a bigot. You can't speak like this, right? So I had to look into it. And basically, it's a self-diagnosis process now, right? And it's an online questionnaire, basically, to see if you've got ADHD that all my friends are doing, right? And the way the questionnaire works, because I did it, I was like, fuck it, I've got a big work deadline, I might as well do this. And the way it works, if you've not done it, right, the ADHD quiz, right, it's like 48 questions, it takes about 12 minutes, and if you get to the end, you don't have it. I'm being flippant, obviously. In reality, what happens is it analyses your answers. And my friends are all like, oh, it analysed my answers. It says that I've got ADHD. I was like, well, you obviously fucking don't, do you? Because you did this in one sitting. The only time to worry is if you got 3 questions in, then open up a new tab to Google animals in films, where are they now? ADHD is a real thing, right? If you think you got it, go to a doctor, get it diagnosed properly. Don't do a fucking BuzzFeed quiz. It is so insulting to people who actually have it. And also, you are not easily distracted. The world is now distracting, okay? Everything you work on, your laptop, your phone, the business model of those things is now distraction. If you had ADHD back in the day, that was fair enough. The only distraction was those door stoppers that go boy, oi, 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 oi. If you couldn't get through 10 minutes of work without lying down doing one of them, fair enough, you're fucked. Take all the government laptops you can get, my boy, and get out of here. But these days, you don't have ADHD, you just have TikTok. That's all it is. And she lives on a farm in Idaho, the piglet from Babe. If you didn't understand that joke, then you should take the quiz. I mean, fucking hell. It was like 40 seconds ago I said that. I know why people do the quiz, man. Want to be told they've got ADHD. We love labels. It's human nature to love labels. Of course it is, because it tells us why we are the way we are. It's answers. Same reason we love life deadlines so much. We're obsessed with life deadlines, aren't we? Milestones and stuff like that, because it tells us, be here at this time and you're doing something right. We love that. Of course we do. And you've got to understand, I know more about life deadlines than anyone at the moment, okay? Because I am a man in his 30s who has been with his girlfriend for 10 years. So obviously, I am under an enormous amount of fucking pressure at the moment, okay? Thanks for coming, guys. Her parents just sit by the phone all day, just waiting for her to call them and say, don't worry, it's happening. Rhys asked me, I've said yes, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna get a 2-together rail card. I'm not doing it. It's too big a commitment, that rail card. That shit's for old people and Ant and Dec. Well, he's not driving, is he? It's a long time, innit, for a relationship, 10 years. Long old time, 10 years, man. We try and keep it fresh, keep it exciting. You know, we still have a date night once a week. You know, I took her out recently. I took my girlfriend out for dinner recently. We went to that place where, like, all the waiters are really rude to you, and that's just, like, part of the experience. I think it's called France. And, yeah, an old school one for the dads. You're welcome. Welcome to Butlins, everybody. We have taken the next step in our relationship recently, me and my girlfriend. Anal, I'm joking. I'm still not letting her do that. But No, obviously, in reality, the pressure that we're under, me and my girlfriend, is to get married, okay? To get engaged and get married, and we're not fucking doing it, okay? We don't believe in it, both of us. Think it's a very strange thing, marriage, and I think you'd be insane to have brought it up in this show. It's a strange thing, I think it's a very strange thing, marriage, you know? It's a really weird thing. You know, every marriage is just going, I bet you half your stuff you won't love me forever. That's the dice you all roll. And good luck to you, honestly, good luck to you, genuinely. Marriage to me, it's like Doc Martens shoes, you know? Huge in the 80s, now mostly just for queer people. Well... It's just strange marriage to me. I find it a bit of a minefield, you know? Too much can go wrong, can't it? You know, not just the marriage, not just the wedding, but even the proposal. What if I did it? What if I finally got down on one knee and said to the person I love most in the world, will you marry me? And instead of saying yes, she said, yep. I've got to spend the rest of my life thinking, I don't know that she meant this. Still, I'd love to see the Instagram post. She said yep. I don't relate, this is the thing. A lot of my newly married friends, I don't relate to them one bit, okay? They all say the same stuff. They go, me and my wife, we make such a team. Me and my hubby are such a good team. I don't feel like me and my girlfriend are a team at all. If anything, she is my fiercest rival. I want her to succeed outside the house. In the house, I spend all my time waiting for her to slip up and do something she has previously told me off for doing. Oh, that's the holy grail. Just go, it seems that you put a wash on this morning and then you've not done anything about it all day. And so now it's been sat there all day, hasn't it, stewing. And now we're going to have to do it all again because it smells worse than it did when we started. So now we're going to have to do that all over again, which is a waste of water and energy and therefore money. I'm not very happy about this. Yes! 1-1! All right, like 28-1, but I'll take a consolation goal. That's what a real long-term relationship looks like, isn't it? I'll prove it. Every single one of you in this room who's in a long-term relationship, right, after the show, go into the WhatsApp, the text conversation that you have with your partner. Go into the media section of the WhatsApp, scroll back to the very beginning, and then look through it chronologically. You can pinpoint the moments that it changes, from like a sexy nude to a screen grab of a recipe from BBC Good Food, all the way to a passive-aggressive photo of a plate one of you left out on the side. That's where we all get to eventually. Wordless plate pictures. The only way you send or receive a nude in a long-term relationship is if one of you has a rash. I think it'll die out, marriage. I do. I think it'll die out. I think it would have died out sooner if not for the boomers. You know, the boomers, you kept it alive, marriage, because it suits you, boomers. It suits the way that you were raised, you know, because you boomers, you were raised on this idea of stiff upper lip, you know? Keep calm and carry on. Get through it no matter how tough it gets. And so you're stubborn, but you're resilient, you know? You apply that logic to everything in your lives, from marriage to recessions to gluten. You just fucking tolerate it. A 65-year-old man is not suddenly admitting he can't stomach bread, okay? He's continuing to have toast for breakfast every morning and having the shits until he dies. That's how it works. That's why you're all so angry. Going, immigrants. Like, no, you just ate the cross again, Tony. Chill out. Going, LGBT. No, IBS. Calm down, mate. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So dramatic, the boomers. It's all life and death, black and white, win or lose. There's no middle ground with boomers, ever. This is why the 50% of you that got divorced refer to it as a failed marriage. You didn't fail, you completed it. You got to the end, boss, you move on to the sequel. Bit of positive thinking, come on. Then the half of you that stayed together, you just shut the curtains, don't let the neighbours see how awful it is, just get through it no matter what. And then a small percentage of that lot just waited for the day that he snaps and then she's under the patio. That's how it works in the boomer community, and we make podcasts about it. Okay, but Gen Z weren't raised like this. Gen Z were raised on the idea of know your worth, never settle for anything less than you deserve. And so they're all fucking delusional. They're insane, Gen Z, they're quitters. They're quitting the workforce at a rate we have never seen before in history because we told them they were special as a prank and they believed us, okay? And they've all been on social media on their phones their whole lives, so their brains are fucking sludge, okay? They have got no attention spans. Well, everyone on Gen Z in this room, this is the longest you've been without your phone for 2 years. This is mindfulness to you. This, an elderly man screaming about the future. This. Gen Z aren't going to get married because they don't have the patience. And they're not going to kill their partners because they don't have the patios. There's no chance. So I don't want to get married, okay? No, thank you. And I don't want kids either. No. No way. And it's your fault, people who've got kids. You've made it look terrible. Ugh, yuck. Gross. God, I should clarify, I don't want kids. I do want offspring. I just don't want kids. I want like a 20-year-old guy. Yeah, just heard it. That came out a lot creepier than I intended. Which is what my mum said to the midwife. Anyway, bit of fun, why not? Why not have some fun for once? I think it'd be good. I want a 20-year-old guy. I want to be 50 and have a 20-year-old son. That's what I'm getting at here, okay? I just don't want to do all the stuff that gets you there. I think what the word I'm looking for is boarding school, okay? I can't afford that shit, so I want science to figure this out, you know? I think it'd be fun, you know? I'm 50, I'm in the pub with my 20-year-old son, he's buying me pints with the money I gave him. I can tell him that all the songs he likes are actually covers. He can tell me that all my opinions are unacceptable now. Going, Dad, you can't say Chinese people anymore. It's divine leaders. Read the news. And listen, I see the appeal. You know, people say it's about legacy, isn't it? People want to have kids because they want to carry on the family name. And I see the appeal of that, carrying on my family name. You know, Ranga Nathan. Is it worth it, you know? And to be honest, I read a story, basically, that put me off the idea of having kids. Okay, I'll tell you it now. The story goes that in 1920s America, the famous writer Ernest Hemingway had a bet with a bunch of his writer mates of who could write the saddest story in the fewest amount of words, right? And he won that bet, Hemingway, with his story, which was For Sale, Baby Shoes, Never Worn. Yeah. And that's why I don't want kids. Ungrateful. Now listen, obviously that's a sad story, of course. That's a very sad story. But it took him 6 words. That's what I was curious about that whole thing. Because I was like, I reckon I could do equally sad stories in less words, okay? I could do it in 5. You ready? Please welcome your host, Deck. Eat shit, Hemingway. House deposit paid. Goodbye, Grandma. Well, this one's more of a personal one that I get a lot. We've gone with Ed Gamble. I don't even need 5 words. I can do it in 4. Finished first in orgy. Welcome to Switzerland, Nan. I can do it in 3 words. I'll do Hemingway's one in 3 words. For sale, baby. Think it through, mate. Come on. I'll do it in 2. Biological girlfriend. I'll do it in 1. No. So I'm better than Hemingway. That's the message of the show. That's right. He had it all, Hemingway, okay? But I'm better than him. He needed 6 words to do his trick. I did it in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm better than Hemingway, okay? But he was respected in his lifetime, and he's respected now he's dead. Hardly anyone has that. I'm not even the most well-known person with my own fucking name. Better than Hemingway. I'm definitely the best Rhys James, by the way. No doubt. Okay, sure, that guy might be younger and faster, whatever. He might be richer and more famous. Who cares? Sure, he might be able to whip in a great cross to the back post, but can he write a comedy show so funny that he sells out 3 nights at the Hammersmith Apollo? And if so, will he tell me how? And listen, I'm not saying I'm flawless, okay? I've got flaws, presumably. It's very hard to know what your flaws are, you know? That's why we need someone else to tell us. We need someone else to say, listen, mate, this is why you're a piece of shit. This is what you need to change. We need help. We need help from a city boy named Alex, who's got all the answers. Thank you very much. I know this is it, Alex. I trust you. I know that you're going to solve all my problems, okay? So you know. The way it's going to work, right, it's 11:59. I want you to imagine that. It's 11:59, okay? It's New Year's Eve right now. We're going to do the countdown, and then after the countdown, we won't have a kiss. We'll do the resolution. You're going to help me do the countdown, all of you. We'll all do it together. We're going to count down from 6, okay, for Hemingway. And we'll start now, okay? You guys ready? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chase the dream, not the competition. Well, I hate to admit it, Alex, but that was pretty fucking cheeky, actually.